The flag.
You can do that before or after beach.
Well, we want it in the minutes.
Okay, turn to end. Like she flag on the way out. I like the meetings where they have like 3 public hearings in addition to the meeting before each one there. They say pledge.
Before each one.
Yes.
Who does that?
So is this done? It's a lot of pledging. It is.
That's at their town meeting?
That.
That's a real patriot.
One of the friends being the 70s, like places, because they have thousands that we didn't live in. And yesterday, because I was saying, you know, these from the hospitals, yeah. Well, where are the others?
Yeah, I don't know. These say
This falcon in my, it's almost reading.
Okay, folks, 7 o'clock, time, pull the December 16th meeting of the Woodstock Town Board, our business meeting to order, and I will ask everyone to stand to pledge the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll rattle off some resolutions. Be resolved to accept minutes for meetings held on November 12th and, November 5th and November 18th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Be resolved to accept the town clerk's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Be resolved to authorize payments of vouchers in the amount of $129,170.90.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolved to accept the revised May 12th, 2014, the Woodstock Water District map accepted by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation.
Second.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Aye. Whereas the town of Woodstock Water Department received 2 bids for installations of an outlet and transfer switch for portable generator. Pump House 2, and whereas CPE Electric Inc. submitted a low bid of $14,580. Therefore, be resolved, the Woodstock Town Board accept the bid from CPE Electric Inc.
Second.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Aye. Whereas the
No.
town of Woodstock Water District is required to deal with sludge in the wastewater system. And whereas the district appropriated funds to construct a reed bed filter system to deal with said sludge, and whereas New York State DEC will not certify the reeds necessary to build said system, now therefore be resolved, Woodstock Town Board be named the reed bed capital project H2401-071 to the sewer treatment capital project. Same number, and whereas Sourcewell contracts number 032824 DAI orders a Freightliner pump truck for $264,703. Be it further resolved, Woodstock Town Board authorized the purchase of Freightliner truck with Amathor's body, see attached specs, for $264,703 funded by the sewer treatment capital project 8H2401.071.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
No.
Anyone?
Mr. Cruz, no.
Be it resolved to approve a paid, unpaid leave of absence for Shay Cox through the Family Medical Leave Act effective December 17th, 2024.
Second.
Or, excuse me, thank you, Laura, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What is paid unpaid mean?
So that means he's off, if he's using vacation or sick time that he's accrued or anything like that, he would be paid for that. And when he's used all that up, then it's unpaid. Really,
Megan,
it's
Megan, can you
Chris's
hear me?
job.
Yeah, Maria, this person.
I'm gonna just send you my answers because some of my audio didn't come through.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Be resolved, the town board transfer $20,000 from the Woodstock not-for-profit artist trust and agency reserve T09450 to the Woodstock Art and Cultural Alliance to assist in funding the Woodstock Art and Cultural Alliance marketing plans. See attached.
Second.
All in favor?
I move that we table this.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor of tabling?
Aye.
No for that, but that's right.
I'm in vote two. Be resolved to accept the resignation of Carl Anderson as full-time police officer effective December 28th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be resolved to accept the resignation of Timothy Dupree as part-time Woodstock police officer effective December 9th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved to authorize the supervisor to sign the attached contract with Nikon.
Second. Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Whereas, and there's a typo or type, not a typo. Pasted incorrectly, so I'll read it correctly. Whereas the Little League scoreboard at the Rick Bolts Field is in need of replacement due to normal wear and tear, therefore be resolved to expend up to $6,500 from the Recreation Capital Reserve .002 for the purchase of said scoreboard. And whereas this expenditure is subject to permissive referendum, be it further resolved to authorize the town clerk to post in the edition of the official town newspaper on December 16th, 2025, Woodstock Town Board adopted the resolution authorizing the expenditure of up to $6,500 from the Recreation Capital Reserve .002. This resolution is subject to permissive referendum pursuant to provisions of Article 7 of New York State Town Law. I order the town board.
Second.
There's the last.
All in favor, discuss.
I just think that this is at the end of the year. I would rather that the new board have more insight into what they're going to do with the recreational capital reserve. What they want to do with the different recreational opportunities that the town board has. We have new board members coming on, some of them here. I just move that we table this and let the new board make this decision.
I see you want to do the job. Okay,
Yeah, I second
anybody else
that.
want to table it?
Yeah, second.
All in favor of tabling?
Aye.
Aye.
That's how those are related. You say the scoreboard needs repairs and you're buying a soccer ball.
No, that was the typo.
Oh,
Or not the typo, the cut and paste. I amended that to be the needed scoreboard. That's very observant though, John, you're getting ahead. Laura, you have a 10 or 15-minute presentation?
I do, yes.
Okay.
So I will, let me get my screen shared. Screen. Okay, so, I'm not turning up my own mic because I think it'll cause interference.
Yes.
So hopefully I'm being heard from that mic. So let me put this in full screen and let me close that and, I'll just leave it like that. So, so this is talking about, as I announced last week, we had hoped to bring up, there was a law that says municipalities with more than 1,500 people need to go to .gov. We need to do it for websites, but we had a bunch of emails around between some current and future board members who said, we'll do it for emails also. So we said we're going to go to emails this week sometime as soon as we can, and we'll go to the website as soon as we can after that. So we did go to emails this morning. So we are now on which.ny.gov emails. I sent an email out, kind of a blast to a lot of department heads and new town board members and current to give information about, there's one thing that you have to do to make sure in your email, when you send it, it says .gov, so everybody should do that one thing. But when people send it to you to .gov, it's going to get there, and you can log on as .gov. So people should be doing .gov. You're not going to fail if you don't, but at some point, someday you will. So you might as well get used to .gov today. So .gov emails is up and running, and hooray for that. Talking about the website. So I have some information about that. The next page, why are we moving Woodstock's website from org to gov? Like I just said, it is a state law, and effective December 21st, is when it is effective. We're not gonna, nobody's gonna go to website jail if you don't, but it's good to get it done and well on our way. So the next question, why am I personally manually building the .gov website when other towns just redirected .gov to their existing website? Why didn't we just do that? So our website is housed on Digital Towpath. Digital Towpath has two production environments. One is the one we're on, very old, very archaic. You can't do much at all with it. And the person who built that environment is deceased, and Digital Towpath cannot update it. So that's where we are. I think a lot of towns are not there. That's where we are. Digital Towpath also offers a concrete CMS platform, and that will be .gov. Concrete CMS is open source, it's used. As I've been working on the website and learning Concrete CMS, I've been able to do online searches. How do I do this or that? Digital Towpath has been absolutely wonderful at answering my questions and giving me all the one-on-one help I need. But I can also go do an online search and figure stuff out. So Concrete CMS I find to be a very good platform. So I think other towns already had a current platform. They could just redirect. If we redirected, we are on what you see up there in blue, that we are on, if you type in woodstockny.org, you get what's in blue here, something longer says .org. We now have our .gov domain. If it were just directed to our current content, once you get to that content, it still would be digitaltowpath.org. We wouldn't really be on .gov. We might have a .gov domain, but the website would not be .gov because it would translate to this if we don't change to the CMS, Concrete CMS environment. So that is why I moved. And there's no automated way to do it. There's no button to press. It's a page by page move. It's been a huge undertaking. I was willing to do it because I want us to make our day and be on a better platform. So the next question, you're not going to be able to read all of this, but I'll kind of tell you the key points. Why am I manually building the website? Why aren't we having a committee deciding what to do? The timeline of how this worked out. Back in March, Bennett presented a presentation he and Maria Lynn had worked on about best practices for municipal website. It was a very helpful presentation, and I looked through it to double check, is this a good solution? And I believed it was, based on what Bennett and Maria Elena said, was what a good website looked like. And as Bennett said in that meeting, it was Bennett and Maria Elena asked her to look at websites. This was not my to-do. I was busy with a lot of stuff. I wound up going to the Digital Towpath annual meeting in September, and they talked about towns, municipalities supposed to go to .gov if you're over 1,500 people, which we are. So the next time I met with Bill, I said, Bill, how are we coming with that? Bill said PCA handles that for us. I said, I haven't heard anything about it. Can I talk to PCA? Bill said, sure. I called PCA, and their plan was just what other people said. You get the .gov. Once we get the .gov, you point it to the current website, and you're good. Except you're not good because it translates to .org, not .gov. So, but I didn't realize that was I hadn't put two and two together until about a month later, in November 7th, we had an email problem. I was back talking to Digital Towpath about the email problem, and I mentioned, oh, we're going to .gov, because she was saying some towns hadn't moved forward. I want to let her know, hey, we are moving forward, and explain the plan. She explained, you're not really going to be .gov. So it was November 7th when she explained, we're not really going to be .gov if we just point to the current content. And then on November 10th, the 7th was a Friday, 10th was a Monday, I talked to Bill and Melanie, and I said, what if we try to build our website on the Concrete CMS platform so we can really be .gov? You know, and first, to confirm feasibility, Digital Towpath had a test environment, and I could get on their test environment and play around and see if it was feasible. So on November 7th, I didn't really know if it was feasible, or November 10th. November 20th, I got the test environment from Digital Towpath, and I started playing around, and it was working, and it is a much better environment. So it was really November 21st. They sent me the email the 20th. I first got on November 21st to learn CMS and try out this new website. Huge job, manual process, due a month later, December 21st. But if there had been a committee, this would never have gotten done in that 1 month's time. Huge piece of work. If you had to wait for people, you know, I'm making my own decisions on it. Everything I've done can be changed, but in any event, that's how it kind of came down. We got our .gov domain on November 26th. So when the website is ready, we have a .gov domain that we can point to the concrete CMS, and I continue to do that. So basically, why am I doing this? Pretty much I saw a gap. I didn't see another viable way to close it, and I'm doing my best to close the gap. Around that time of the 20th and 21st, there were emails going around with current and future town board members. And they were talking about emails and website, and I sent an email to Newell saying, gee, is there somebody else working on this? Because if multiple people are working, let's collaborate. And she responded, the responsibility for this changeover and proper testing is on the current administration. I don't have anyone working on it. So I said, okay, it's on the current administration, that's me. I'm just going to continue doing this and seeing if I can make it work. What are my credentials? Webmaster experience as of November 21st, frankly, 0. Transferable skills, I think pretty good. Meaning I've learned stuff, I know stuff, and it's helping me in doing this task. I have 48 years of information technology experience. I've used a lot of tools. Concrete CMS is really just another tool to be learned. Woodstock knowledge, as I build the website, I've been a resident for 45 years. I've been a volunteer since 2010. I've been on the town board since 2016. I've been involved in a lot of things. I know a bunch. I don't know anybody as of the date I realized this needed to get done, who would have been more capable, more knowledgeable, more willing to handle it by the deadline and at no additional cost, which is what I'm doing. Some additional notes about it. In my view, what I'm doing is low risk. Anything I do can be redone. It's easy to make changes in concrete CMS. I have not locked anything in that can't be changed. Everything I've done can be redone. Plus, the woodstockny.org website will still be available. Our digital towpath will keep it available probably for a couple of years. It's up to us to decide, is there a point that we want to lock it out so people can't get to it, but we're not locking it out now. It makes sense, I think, for people to still get to go to the woodstock.org website and be comfortable with what's there versus what they see in the concrete CMS website. No additional cost. Digital towpath is charging us the same annual fee, whether we use the old platform or the new platform. I'm salaried. You're not paying me for the hour for the work I'm doing. It's been a lot of hours. It's okay. I volunteered to do this. You're not paying any more for me than you're paying anyway. As I go through everything, I'm testing all links before I move things over. There are a lot of obsolete links. If something doesn't work, I've done an online search, find the right thing. And if something, for example, a venue is permanently closed, I just didn't move it over. Basically, I'm moving everything over, quote unquote. But if something no longer exists, I'm not moving that. If something is erroneous, I'm not moving that. And it is my judgment, but anybody can go into the woodstockny.org, look at what was there, and look at what is there, and I'm open to making changes. Easier future web maintenance. The old website has a lot of, oh, here's the contact for this, and here's the phone number for that. Well, these things change. I put the website in, people can access the website to learn more things about restaurants or hotels or whatever. Better fonts and graphics. I just talked about how I can learn about concrete CMS by looking online to learn how to do different things. I'm currently the webmaster. Anula, the new administration can, whatever webmaster you want, I'm here to help. You want me to do stuff, I'll do it. You don't want me to do it, I won't do it. I'm doing it now. Doesn't mean I have to still do it. I'll go into a demo, and depending on how long I have, you're timing me.
Yeah, I'm talking to
So I'll go into a demo and then we'll see what, we'll see how we are. But the first thing I'll say is the one thing that I'm not moving over to the new website is the 2025 calendar. The reason I'm not moving it over is because we only have a year of calendar anyway. A year from now, that calendar is not going to be there anyway, because it only keeps a year. So I think that if people want to see 2025, they just go to woodstockny.org. If people want me to add stuff in, it'll be like at the end of the list. It won't be, because woodstockny.org is still there. If people really want it, I can do
I
it.
wouldn't worry about it for now.
But for now, I'm just getting all the data done. So I will go on and see if I can, and she can't, there we go. Okay, so our current website is over to the left. We know it, we love it. If you look down on the left, here is our navigation in the current website. Has a lot of stuff there, has about 60 some items, and there they are. And what you find is there's really a ton of pages because you open an item and you realize, oh, it links to more pages. So there's a lot more than what you see on this list, but this is the navigation. One of the things that Bennett and Maria Elena's presentation said is we really ought to have just, 5 to 7. So the new website, and I made it look as much as it could like the old, but we still have the logo. It says Woodstock and the Arts, extremely flexible. People want a picture there, we put a picture there. This is just how it is today. It can be all changed.
I think you missed that done
Maybe seen a dot.
after the vote.
Oh, after the Y, oh, dot, well, it's a dot. I'll get back to, and Digital Topia did that. There you go.
Or get rid of the dot.
Or get rid of that. So anyway, this is the home page. It's already got a statement that this is a new website, process of upgrading and enhancing. The categories, there's a financial category, it's a drop down, no more big list of 6 to some items on the left. But financial, all the annual financial reports are here. The budgets are here for as many years as the world. I think it went back to 2018. That's already loaded up. Assessment is here. Some pretty cool stuff when you go in here. This is full screen. The old one, when you look at it, it is only, and I don't know if I can get to it and pull it down so I can make it full screen for you, but I got so much block in it. But if you do, we'll do it that way. Not full screen. It only goes this part. So every page you look at only goes as far. It does not have the option of going full screen. The new one does have the option. What?
So it'll fit to any screen.
It'll fit to any screen. Yes, yes, it will. And I'm trying to get to the page now that I did this to get it all. I got too much stuff on. We'll do it that way. Anyway, and so there are things in here. As I went to the previous website and I looked at every one of these choices of the old website navigation and figured out where should it go of this new choice of these items. So like for finances, for assessments, Town of Woodstock assessments, there's information about, there's also a page for departments for the assessor, but there was a separate page in the previous website, so I kept it a separate page here, using some of the coloring that we can use. Ulster County web pages, oh, by the way, there's the parcel viewer. I put it with assessments, that seemed to be where it belongs. Tax maps from the Ulster County, so we have Woodstock information, Ulster County information, and it's all right there to be looked at. The information here. We've got bear information, that was a new list, had worked on that. So we have links and documents, so the bear information is already in here. The way I've laid it out is welcome to Woodstock is if somebody else, some other venue, if Woodstock, the town of Woodstock municipality does not manage it, it's under welcome to Woodstock. Alf Evers Award has a separate committee. Districts, fire, library, school, that's not town of Woodstock, they're separate. Emergency and medical services, festivals, food pantries, getting to and from Woodstock, all these things, lodging, restaurants. There are things that tourists want to know. If you're new to Woodstock, welcome to Woodstock. I made that category. Everything else has to do with the town of Woodstock. So workforce is in here. I'm still building this. It's got departments, it's got the YouTube channel, because that's where meetings are. Employment information, I'm going to be putting 3 documents in there: employment application, volunteer handbook, employee handbook. There'll be there'll be an item for each department, and boards and committees I haven't done yet either. Meetings and minutes in the new website are going to be tied to calendar. When you open up an entry in this structure, you can say, here's the agenda, here are the minutes for the meeting, here's the date and time, it'll put it on the calendar. So I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm getting pretty far pretty soon. But in any event, at some point, we'll be using that, and it's a good feature that makes things easier. So that's what workforce is all about, still building that. Information is, if it is town of Woodstock, the bear information that came from Anula and the task force, comprehensive plan 2018, disaster preparedness, environment has a lot of stuff, because again, it was all spread out all over the place in the old website. But
So everything that's there on the left of the old website, almost all of it's gonna get moved over Almost
It's all
all,
gonna get moved over unless
Into one.
unless it's obsolete and didn't make sense to move over.
right, and it'll be in one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 7 categories. So everything, so my plan is to move everything. I'm not trying to make big decisions and go with some, take massive control or whatever. I'm just trying to meet the state requirement, get us on a better platform and move all the data. So it can be, we can still have a committee later that says, hey, it ought to be different. We ought to have pictures. We ought to, anything I've done can be changed, but let's just.
Or added to.
Or attitude, absolutely, or attitude. So some things I want to show, they're like, welcome to Woodstock. I want to show, where did it go? Whoops, nope, it was in information. Disaster preparedness. I want to show disaster preparedness and I want to show disaster preparedness over here. To show you kind of the capability. So disaster preparedness in the old website, you can have a picture. Well, again, it's not full screen, so it only goes so far. But you got a lot of black and white stuff. I'm just gonna kind of go all up here. You got a lot of black and white stuff, black and white stuff, black and white stuff. And let me go all the way to the bottom. All right, we're gonna get there in just a second. And then at the very bottom, they have a bunch of images. They have a couple of documents and they have a bunch of images. So that's the old website. That's the capability of the old website. The capability of the new website, first of all, I do have tags in here so you can go to different chapters in the document. You can click on one of these and go right to it. And then I say, by the way, information in the emergency page of the website could also be of interest. I have a link to that page. And there's also disaster preparedness document. If people want to see this in a document they could print, they could. But here it is. I've got the welcome. You can see I have links right in the text. I can put links right in the text. Stay informed. You can see instead of that clump of images at the bottom of the other page, I'm using color, trying to stay with our own colors. I have color to show you so you see the headers. I've got the image that goes with the topic right with the topic, and you can kind of keep scrolling up here. Image that goes with the topic is right with the topic. It's not way at the bottom where it doesn't make any sense. Again, you can see links in there, and I tested each one of these links, so each one of these links does work. Road closures, and then here's a page 2 where if I want to put in documents, this thing about road closures, yeah, I've got links in here, I've got documents in here, and I got images. It allowed me to do all of that and put what's needed. So that's some of the capabilities. What I think makes sense to do is I want to have office hours a couple of times because this is a lot of new stuff. And I think what makes sense is on Monday at 6:30, I was thinking of having a Zoom call and asking Melanie to set it up so that people can get on. The plan, well, let me try to go back first of all. Can she do it? I'm trying to find. I'm gonna unshare for a moment because whenever I start looking for stuff, I never know who's gonna see what. Now let me go find this again and then I'll share again. Whoops, let me go share. So we've shown a bunch of that stuff, so you can kind of see a lot, some of the capabilities all about, and how the new way is in my opinion much better. The next steps, I'm going to continue building the website. I still have to load in the laws, the workforce stuff, meetings, agendas, minutes, and calendar. I'll be doing after the other stuff. The home page content I haven't worried about yet. So people will still, Melanie will still be updating the wishlikeny.org website. And if there's a calendar thing, it makes sense to put on wishlikeny.org. I'm planning to actually go live with the wishlikeny.gov. It's not going to be finished yet on December 19th, but I'm looking to go live with it so that we get it up there. And then people, if they want to go play around with it, and if I can do some office hours by Zoom and ask Melanie after the call when she's not busy, remind her and ask her to put up a Zoom thing on the calendar. So if people want to join, they will have had a chance to get on the website, take a peek at different pages and see what they can let me know what they think. I'm most interested right now in errors. If we want to redesign it or reconstruct it, I'd rather do that at the first year. Right now, I'm just trying to meet the date, get everything in there. Target completion is the end of this month. I'm willing to hold office hours, like in January, give people 3 weeks or so to use it. And then hold office hours, we wanna talk about redesign, you don't like it, I'm happy to change it. The new town board can decide how long to keep Woodstock NY.org accessible. And we've already paid digital towpath, by the way, through April 2026. So the new town board can determine, do you wanna have digital towpath after, starting May 1st? If so, your fee is $1,632 for the entire year. Again, $1,630 for the whole year, we're getting web and email services. And you would be getting it from May 1st, 2026 to April 2027. If you have a better solution on a different platform with a different company and you can get fully there by the end of April, God bless you. I predict it's a lot of work because I know how much work this was. But hey, it's whatever the new town board wants to do. I'm just trying to have us be compliant and be good. And we're paid through the end of April, and the new board can make a decision, pay for the next year, stay with it. Or if you do want to go to a different platform, if you don't want to pay for the next year, your deadline would be April 30th of 2026.
So Laura, when would you like to do the Zoom? Because we have press here and it would
Well,
be good.
I would like to do it Monday, this coming Monday, the 22nd at 6:30 at night.
Okay,
So I would like to do a Zoom, office hours, Monday, the 22nd, 6:30 at night. And I will get on, and whatever people want to ask about or whatever. Again, I'm really just trying to help. I know people think, what's she doing over there?
so we'll set that up and put the
Right.
link and whatnot and get it to the press.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and the last thing I'd like to say is I do have in this document that I'll be posting on the new website, that when you go there on Friday, you can see it. Is I do have excerpts from Bennett and Ray Elaine's presentation to explain how everything in their presentation they said is best practices is either already available or it will be available in 2026, or something like the if you wanted to go have automatic bill payment right from the website, they have the capability, but then you would we'd have to get the application, but it books in. So this application has a ton of flexibility to do, I think, the things that we want to do, and it naturally evolved with what Bennett and Ray showed us back in March.
excellent.
And with that, I'll stop sharing.
All right, folks. Well, that's it. Jackie?
I just have one thing to say, it's not public be heard, but I would like the public to hear it. I would like to thank Bill for your 20 years of service with me
Thank you, Jackie.
and what you've
It's a
done with
pleasure.
what you've done with the town
Thank you.
board. Give you all my grace. I hope that you can make it work. I really do. I really do. Melanie, I love you to pieces. I'm gonna miss you terribly. I wish I had a dozen roses to give both of you, but I don't. So I'll give you a
Dozen
dozen.
each or dozens?
No, I'll give you,
I'll
I'll send you both a dozen kisses. How's that? Yeah, but I want to thank you, Laura. Thank you very much.
But thank
Um,
you tremendously.
After
Tons of
almost 40
years.
Years working
Tons-
with the
tons of
town, I
years.
just have to say some of the best people that I've worked with are right here in this room, so thank you.
Thank you, that means a lot.
And
I would just say, Jackie, or tell the audience, just prior to the meeting, Jackie and I were calculating over 20 and 22 years. I have about, what's that?
How many meetings?
Yeah. Somewhere around 540, and Jackie beat me 2 years, almost 600 meetings, so. Good.
God bless them. Why do I love the way I do?
You look a lot happier now, let me say that.
I do also want to do public be heard. I see Mike has his hand up, though. I don't know whether you.
Well.
I wasn't gonna do
Be
public.
heard,
Is this public be heard?
It
No,
was on public.
no, yeah, we
Quick
have the
announcement.
public be heard? No.
Quick
sit there.
announcement first.
Okay.
I do want to thank Bill, you for your service. Bennett, thank you very much for everything that you've done, and same to Maria Elena and Melanie. So best of luck moving forward, and Jackie, thank you for those kind words. I am looking forward to working with the new board and onward and upward.
Okay, with that, I have to.
Bill, come on, Bill, it's Christmas.
No, it's Christmas, put
Let
it in the paper.
me get a word in.
Wait, no. I'm gonna do public be heard.
Okay.
I want to also thank Bill. Bill, when I became was that when Jeremy Wilder was supervisor, he appointed me as deputy supervisor. It was about 12 years ago. Bill took me under his wing. The community center was being redone, and Bill invited me, come on out, be part of the community center rebuild, and it was wonderful. And before that, Bill was heavily involved. I don't know if 20, 30 years ago, if anybody remembers the old highway garage, it was atrocious. Bill was huge at getting us the new highway garage. The town hall was after that, atrocious. Bill was huge at getting us the new town hall. Bill was huge and got a citation from the county for his work on the community center. He and Kathy Magarelli were liaisons together. Each got a citation, excellent. And then getting this project done. In the time that Bill has been supervisor, he, in 60 years, we didn't have a comp plan. Bill put the right team together. We now have a comp plan. When the organization that could not do the cemetery, they couldn't afford it anymore. Bill and a team of wonderful people, the clerk's office, Richard Hepner was big on getting that done. But this town absorbed the cemetery, the cost of the cemetery, the maintenance, got everything sorted out with it. There were two people that bought the same plot, two different deeds for the same plot. They had to sort that out. They had people in plots that didn't even have a deed. They didn't know who was it. I mean, the cemetery was a whole mess, made it much better. So there was so much that I appreciate, Bill, that you've done. For me, it's 12 years working with you since I became deputy supervisor. And I just want to thank you for so many things that people, I feel like I see from the inside what all you do and people don't really get it. And I always appreciate what you've done.
Thank you.
So I just want to say thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.